Okay, so what's my issue with purgatory? So I don't like necessarily have an issue with the idea originally, right? And if I were to give credence to the idea, I think that the idea itself might have a nice grounding in like pre-New Testament times, right? So before there was like the final atonement for sin, maybe. And technically that's where it's pulled from. So Second Maccabees. There's this section, Second Maccabees 12:44 through 45. There's a whole section before, but this is like where it's pulled from. This is one of the big supporting documents or supporting writings where Catholics pull the doctrine of purgatory. They also pull out of like Second Timothy and Hebrews and First Peter, but like the Hebrews one is like Hebrews 9:27, just as people are destined to die once and after that to face judgment. Like, I don't find that to be telling me purgatory exists. There's a lot of scriptures in like the Bible that Catholics pull from that I don't really vibe with in terms of their interpretation, obviously, because I'm not Catholic. I've went down that rabbit hole, not rabbit hole, but here, hold on. Let me show you what I bought like 6 months ago. So I know this isn't a Catholic Bible, but the Orthodox Bible, like Eastern Orthodox, not Ethiopian Orthodox or anything, because that's a whole other can of worms. But the Orthodox has even more of the ancient, like Jewish writings than the Catholic Bible does. So, like, they add in Third Maccabees and Wisdom of Solomon in the Catholic Bible. You know what? I'm not going down that road. But it has even more books than the Catholic Bible, so I was like, okay, if I want all of these just to read them and like see what's up with them, I just got the Orthodox one. In the Orthodox one, they have this like the Orthodox Church themselves recommend this one apparently. So I was like, okay, well, this is what they're pushing. It also has like study notes from church fathers, which is cool. But anyway, I went down this whole train of like, oh, am I in the wrong place? Like, should I be looking at Catholicism or Eastern Orthodoxy? I thought I was deep into the rabbit hole of trying to figure out where I wanted to be. There are things about like modern day Protestantism that I might not like fully vibe with, but I think like overall it is where I feel as though I'm supposed to be. I did a lot of praying on it and a lot of just going through all the differences and like the different teachings and the different beliefs. Ended up staying right back where I was. I know there's a lot of people in like especially my generation, a lot of the like younger guys who are moving towards the church, which is awesome. Like if you move to the Catholic Church or you're like going and you get into the Eastern Orthodox Church, like I'm just happy that people are, coming to Christ. That being said, I think that there should be something said about like, okay, well, what teachings are you following and what are you believing and whose voices are you really listening to, right? But before we'll do that rant after. But purgatory. So they pull it from this. Here's my thought process. Here's how I feel about purgatory. First of all, there's like no direct like purgatory. The word is nowhere, but they're taking it from the idea, right? Like just the same thing as like the Trinity isn't in the Bible, but the theology is there. Purgatory. From what I have gathered, purgatory is where if you have sins that are not accounted for, sins you need cleansed of, you go there before you go to heaven, right? And there's different levels of like work that you have to do or punishment to go through, cleansing to end up in heaven, right? And if there's something I misstep on or say it's wrong, call me out, right? Call me out in the comments. Tell me what I said wrong or like what I misspoke on. But it's a place to be cleansed. So I can see it being a doctrine that could make sense before Christ. You are saved by faith in Christ, not by your works, but by the works and the atoning works of Christ. So like his death on the cross, which he did for the salvation of people, right? So like he saved you. You are saved by Christ through his works, not yours. So if I'm saved by faith in Christ because of his works, how is it only some of them? Are there some that Jesus wasn't good enough for, or like his works didn't cover his crucifixion didn't cover certain works, and then I have to go to purgatory? Like that's where I'm stuck, right? I don't get it. So if you ask me, no, purgatory is not a biblical view. Could it have been like before? I think that's way more viable. I don't know. I don't think anybody really knows, right? And the Catholic Church saying they know, but they didn't actually. What was it? It was canonized at the first council of Lyon in 1245. Really? Like it took that long? I don't think that it tracks if you actually have full faith in the atoning work of Jesus Christ, which is what would make you like that is one of the core like aspects of Christianity. Do I think that that means like all these like Maccabees is bad? No. But it's the same thing as like, why don't we still make sacrifices on altars, even though that's in the Bible, because Jesus, right? So maybe I don't think so. So yeah, no. Like I'm not a believer in purgatory. If I were to get a conviction one day, if God were to like put that in my heart, like, hey, you're wrong, I'll listen. I'm fallible. I'm a human. But I mean, I'm given scriptures to go on. So nope, I don't think so. It's my stance on purgatory.